Welcome to Reaching World Podcast, where we highlight the world's largest network of influencers for good, love, and service. Join us in saying thank you to these incredible individuals and organizations by listening, subscribing, and sharing their legacies. And by doing this together, we will help inspire others to leave their legacy of service and love. I'm your host, Zach Garner. We're excited to have John Hall on the podcast today, a fitness expert, passionate about training individuals, help bring out their best selves in the fitness space. John, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves to our podcast listeners?
Hello, my name is John Hall. I am a fitness professional. I've been at this for about 32 years. My background comes from sports for the most part, and I had family who used to run gyms and used to do bodybuilding. But when I started, I just did not feel like that was the best route to take. And I didn't feel like that was the most healthy avenue. And I really didn't feel like that was a picture of health. I just thought it was just more show than go. So I just decided to start doing my own thing. And people just started asking a lot of questions about my physique. And I just started to really look at it in a different way. Like, man, I can really be helping people out. But during the course of that, I actually went to a pharmacy school and got another rude awakening because I really did not find that to be rewarding at all. I'm more of a holistic person. And the medicine just really threw me for a loop, but it did educate me on what I needed to do and what I felt like my spirit was calling me to do, was to educate people on how to holistically keep their lives in order. So here I am, 32 years in, and still.
Wow. That's awesome. I love to hear that you're been at it for so long and been committed to your purpose and your mission for so long. So John, let's take a step back to that. So you went to pharmaceutical school to be a pharmacist. You know what?
Pharmacy.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's called the PharmD.
Okay. What caused the transition from going from school back to being an entrepreneur, just following your passion about helping people and bring out the best self?
Well, Zach, sometimes you allow others to influence you to do things that really are not with your core value or your passion. And at the time, I was living in another state, and I'd come home and I really wasn't sure about what I really wanted to do. And my mom was like, well, you could go to pharmacy school. At the time, her boyfriend was like the head of pharmacy at Cook County Hospital here in Chicago. And
okay.
My mom used to work for the College of Pharmacy for the dean. So I talked and they were like, oh, yeah, this would be a great avenue. But, they tried to kick me out a couple of times because I was the guy who would say, what do you do for diabetes? And I'd say, well, if you change your eating habits and you reduce this and you do more of this, they say, no, you're supposed to say take glucophage or something like that. I'd be like, I don't believe it. So there were a lot of different times where they were like, dude, you are out of line. But I didn't care because I think too many people sit idle on what they believe. And I feel like that's why the world is where it's at, because too many people sit idle and don't speak up for what they believe.
That's so true. I love that. So you had a mindset of you wanted to prevent the illness instead of treating the illness.
Right.
And that's what separates you from pharmacists. Yeah, I love that. John, so tell us about what dream you're currently chasing with your business. So we know there's John Hall Studios. So talk to us a little about that structure and what you hope to do with that business.
Okay, so John Hall Studios was in existence for 26 years. What basically, I owned a fitness studio, but I just recently closed it because I'm chasing another dream now. I'm opening up some nutrition shops, and basically it's almost like healthy fast food. So teas and shakes, along with knowledge on, wellness programs to educate people on how to go about things. I feel like sometimes the fitness arena, because of a lot of the online training and things like that, it's a paradigm shift now. But people always want to eat, and if I can provide an avenue for people to get healthy snacks and things that are going to help them, then that's where I'm at now. And I'm just more about wellness and healing and Sometimes it's time to change, and it was time to make a shift.
Okay,
So,
good for you. That's
yeah.
awesome. What a great idea. I mean, today's day and age, every fast food out there doesn't seem to be healthy at all. So you're structuring a business now to provide healthy fast food.
Yeah, so just like healthy shakes, meal replacement shakes, healthy teas, things of that nature,
Nice.
just to get people more knowledgeable. And people love to eat, people love to drink, so it's a win-win. And it also provides an opportunity for people who want to become entrepreneurs to be able to open up their own type of nutrition shop. So it provides a way for persons who don't want to be in a corporate world, who want to be able to do their own thing, to be able to open up their nutrition shop. So they start out as operators, learn the ropes, and then over time they're able to go out and open up their own business.
Yeah, totally. Now, are you starting this model, guinea pigging it out of Chicago, right there in
Yes,
Chicago?
in Chicago. Uh-huh.
Awesome. Now, you have a whole background, like you played high school sports, college sports, so you have that competitive drive. What else keeps you, John, motivated every day to chase the stream, to help bring out the best in others?
Well, first off, I wake up every day with gratitude, thankful for just the opportunity to be able to influence others. And I feel like it's my responsibility, Zach, at this point. I'm 54 years old, and I just feel like it's my responsibility to pay it forward. And if we don't all start taking steps towards that, then we're falling backwards. And if it's on my watch, I refuse to fall backwards. I'm going to continue to pay it forward. I'm going to continue to reach out and lend a helping hand and knowledge wherever I can.
Good for you, man. I love that. So, John, in this whole span of your career, what has been one or two obstacles that you've had to overcome and fight through to get to where you are today?
Oh, wow. Okay. So one obstacle for sure is ego. When you start getting a little fame and recognition, sometimes you feel like you're on top of the world, and will tend to treat people in a manner that you shouldn't. And I learned some valuable lessons along the road that's not the way to be. And in the end, being like that, you're only losing, you're not winning. So that and just knowing that as an entrepreneur, you might have a plan that looks straight, but there's going to be hiccups along the way. But if you believe in yourself and stay the course, you'll get there.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. It's so true. Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe it's, we can choose to be humble, or God will find a way to humble us.
Man, and I really did experience that. At one point, my business had got shut down. Like I just was like telling people, like, you need me, and I don't need you, and just not the way it should be. And it got shut down for a whole year.
Oh, wow.
What an awakening! Went from like $50,000 a month to $5,000 a month.
Man, that's tough.
Yeah, but
Jeez.
time it was tough, it allowed me to really dig down deep inside myself and find out who I really was and what I really truly wanted. And God gave it back to me once I realized that it's really not about me. It's about everybody else.
I love that. Once you're ready for it, I guess, right? In his eyes.
Absolutely. You have to be ready, or it won't be given to you.
Man, wow. That's remarkable. I love that you're willing to accept the lessons that he probably wanted you to learn. Sometimes it's easy to, fight against it or turn against it, but you're able to humble yourself and change course a little bit, just enough to build yourself back up and your name and your brand. I love that. It's an awesome comeback story.
Thank you. I feel great at this point in my life, and I allow my intuition and my spirit to guide me. And as long as you do that, then you're going to always win.
That's awesome. So, John, tell us, going back to that a little bit, let's highlight what has been a career highlight of yours in these 30 years of the grind, and why has that been a highlight?
Well, a highlight for me is to be able to own my own fitness studio. I used to train at a lot of guys' places, and they were always dirty and just weren't up to snuff as far as from a professional standpoint, as far as from a cleanliness standpoint. And for me to have a fitness facility that was successful for 26 years, for me was quite an achievement. It's like, whoa, when others have fallen around, I'm still here 26 years later. That really was like, wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. How competitive the fitness industry is to survive that long is huge. Yeah. So congratulations on that. That's awesome. So John, talk to us about John Hall's legacy. What legacy are you trying to build for you and your children and your grandchildren or whatever the state may be?
My legacy is for my children and people who follow me or who look up to me, is to let them know that if you believe in something, no matter how hard it gets, you must stay the course. It will come.
I love that.
It might be hard, but it will come. Also to show gratitude and to always pay it forward. I teach my children that now, that you can have what you want, but you must pay it forward. You must give back. And if you can't give back, then you have no purpose here. We don't live here just for ourselves. We're here for the greater good. And if nothing else, I believe that's what people would say. He was always there to give a helping hand. He was always there to give knowledge. He was always there to give his last, if that's what it took to push you forward. So I think that, if anything, that's how I want people to look at me.
No, that's beautifully spoken. I love that. That's awesome. So we may have a struggling entrepreneur that's listening to this podcast today. What advice would you tell a struggling entrepreneur, mother or father, or someone that's about to give up on their dreams today?
Well, I would tell them this. It's the toughest just before the success comes. So wherever you're at and however dim it looks, push forward, because success is just around the corner, I promise you. And it's always a storm before the sky's clear. So if you could just stay focused, stay faithful, it will happen. That's what I would tell them.
I love that. It's always dark. There's always darkness before the sun rises, right?
That's right.
We really appreciate your time today. It's been a great podcast so far. Let's leave our listeners with, what is John Hall's success habit? What's something that you do daily, monthly, or yearly that helps you, achieve your goals and your personal aspirations?
One thing, first thing in the morning, first thing at night, I give thanks for the opportunity. However small, I'm grateful for the opportunity. God is an amazing God. The other thing is I write down goals. There are certain goals that I want, and I usually write about 5 at a time, and then I just prioritize them. And once one is checked off, I'll go to the next. And the other thing is that stay hungry. Once you accomplish those goals, that's not the end. You must stay hungry. Complacency is death.
That's so true. So true. That's why the greatest, in our eyes, those who have achieved it or been most successful are never content. They're always so hungry for the next thing. So that's true. But at the same time, have the perspective to look back and be grateful for what they have accomplished. It's kind of a fine balance.
Yes.
Awesome. John, is there a favorite personal development book that you've read that you would suggest to our listeners that they should look into, or a podcast that you listen to that you would recommend?
Okay, so listen to this. I was in pharmacy school, and I was just fighting about, is this what I want to do? And somebody gave me this book called The Game of Life by Florence Scovel Shinn, and I read that book and it changed my life. It changed my life.
I love it.
And I went after my dreams. And another mentor of mine is Jim Rohn. His teachings are just amazing. So. But Florence Scovel Shinn, if anybody is somewhere where their faith is lacking or they feel like, read that book. It is an amazing book.
Perfect. I love that. Awesome. I'm writing that down right now.
You're going to love it. Email me after you read it.
Okay, I will.
That book is amazing.
Awesome. John, is there an offer or special that you have for our podcast listeners that they can go find? What platforms are you on? And is there a special or service or product that you're offering that you could offer to our listeners today?
Sure. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. It's John Hall Wellness is the handle. And it's all about It's all about wellness. It's not about vanity. It's about wellness. The six pack and all that comes with the wellness. So think inside before you think outside. And if you email me, I will send you a free 30-day meal plan. And my email address is john@johnhallstudios.com.
Perfect. That's awesome, John. We appreciate that. Thank you. Our listeners will love that. Hey, John, it's been awesome. Thanks again for your time today.
Thank you, Zach.
These episodes will be launched on Mondays and Thursdays. And if you'd like someone to be on the podcast, if you think there's someone in your network that should be recognized for the good they are doing in the world, please reach out to us and send us a direct message. We can be found at Reaching World Podcast on Facebook.com. So be sure to find us there, like our page, and submit any ideas or suggestions of individuals or organizations that should be highlighted on this podcast. Now, to finish today's episode, a couple additional ads from our sponsors. Are you a business owner that would like to maximize your staff or sales team's production and overall performance? Go to buildyourtraining.com and see how business owners are empowering their teams by digitizing a cloud-based training platform. Again, go to buildyourtraining.com to help unleash your team's overall potential and performance.